Hey everyone, how's it going? So last time we got set up with our home.js file and we added it to the page in the home.pug file. Now what we're going to do is actually make the call to get the posts. So in home.js, we're not going to alert it worked. I don't think the users would appreciate that very much. So what we're going to do instead is actually give them some posts. Now, just like how we did, where is it? Did we do .post in this one? We did here. Just like we did an AJAX request here, we send a post request to this URL to post a post. That doesn't sound right. To create a post. What we're going to do is the same sort of thing, but it's going to be a GET request to that same URL. So I'm going to take all of this and copy it, and I'll paste it in home.js, just there. And this isn't going to be a post request, it's going to be a GET request. And we will send some data, but we're not going to do it just yet. Basically, we're going to send an attribute which tells it to only give us posts from people we're following, but we'll come and do that when we've actually implemented the following system. So yeah, this is okay actually. We can leave that as is. Oh, it's got data attached there, but we can get rid of that because there is no data here. So get rid of that and just leave it like that. So this is going to contain the results that are given back to us. So we can just call this... I don't know, you can just write results if you want. I don't know if we should call it post data because it's not data of a post, it's like post data, but I don't really want to call it that either. So let's just go with results. It's a nice name which kind of works. And we're going to get rid of all this because obviously we don't want to do any of that stuff. So we've got an empty block now. So what we can do instead is just console.log and then results right there. Okay, so this part is done for now. It will log the results when we get them. What we need to do is go and handle this request. So in posts.js, which is in the API folder, the roots API folder, we currently have something which handles the post request, and we also have an empty one which handles the get request. So this is where it's going to go right here. Now at the moment this is going to be pretty simple because we're just going to get all the posts for now, but eventually we'll be doing some more complicated stuff in here. Well, I don't know if complicated is a word, let's just say more complex. It's still not that complicated necessarily, but we're going to eventually want to use this endpoint to get like the pinned post and to get posts for a certain person and only for people we're following and things like that. So we'll have some extra logic in here, but for now we can just do a simple call to get the posts. So we can just say post find. Now the find method, there's quite a lot of them. There's find by ID and delete, and remove and update and stuff. So there's quite a lot. Now they all do different things, I guess, or they all work in slightly different ways. Find by ID just has the first parameter, which is an ID, and it knows it'll only find one thing. Obviously this one right here would delete them as well, and this one updates them. Then you got these ones which finds it and returns it, but it wouldn't return it as an array, it would return it as just one element. So if you were going to find only one thing, or if you were only going to search for one item, you'd use the find one things or the find by ID. You wouldn't use this one because find gives you the results back as a list, okay, because this can have any number of results. But anyway, in here is where we'd put the condition, but because we're not going to search with any condition, we don't need to put anything in there. So like I said, this is usually where we would be like, give us the post from this particular user, or only where this person's following this person or something like that. But we're just going to show them all for now, just so we have something to see. So just leave it with the empty parentheses, there's nothing in there. But on the line below, we're going to say .then. And of course, this is the part that's executed when this completes successfully. And then underneath that, we'll have a .catch as well. So in the then block, we need to put a call handler, okay, like this. And all we're going to do is send the results back to the user. So we can say res.status is going to be 200, which is a success status. Then we'll just say .send. And just send the results, but the results we haven't added it here yet, so the results will be sent into this callback function right here. So the first parameter can be just results if you want, and we will send it in there like that. So that should then send the results back to the page. Now, just something you might like to know, like I said before, if you only have one parameter here, you can get rid of the surrounding parentheses, right? I've said that a couple of times now. But what you can also do is get rid of the curly brackets if there's only one line of code in there. So if there's only one line to do, get rid of the curly braces, and you can just, and the semicolon, and you can just do this instead. So that is essentially the same thing. Because there's only one line of code, if you want to, you can get rid of the curly braces, and it kind of just makes things a little bit cleaner. You can have it all on one line. So that's just something you might like to know. It works exactly the same. There's no benefit to it other than the fact that it's a bit more condensed. So if you want to do it the full way with parentheses around there and also put this in the curly brackets, you go ahead and do that. That's totally fine. So the catch block. What do we want to do in here? Well, we'll do what we did before. We'll just have this error handler where it passes in the error. We'll do a curly brackets like that. So we'll just log the error. And then lastly, we'll just res dot send status, and we're just going to send 400, which is an error one. Okay, and that should be it. We should hopefully get some posts now. So I'm going to start the server again, and I don't see any errors here. Great. Let's go and see the console. We should only see it in the console, remember. So I'm going to log in, password, and now we see the list of posts. It worked. So all we need to do now is call the function which creates the HTML for this and outputs it to the feed right here. Now, thankfully, we've already written that function.